Diarra from Detroit wastes no time throwing its characters into another mystery, but unlike the first season, episodes 1 and 2 make it clear that this time the investigation is just as personal as it is dangerous. Every storyline revolves around hidden truths, whether they involve family secrets, romantic relationships, or a stolen piece of furniture that slowly reveals itself to be connected to something much bigger. By the end of the second episode, Diarra is facing two devastating realities at the same time. Her relationship with Chris may not survive, and the case they thought was about a missing armoire has suddenly turned into another murder investigation. Episode 1 opens by teasing the emotional fallout before taking viewers back several weeks. During what should have been a joyful family barbecue celebrating Chris's return home, Diarra is focused on something completely different. While everyone else is reconnecting, she secretly investigates Voda's house, convinced that the answers surrounding the mysterious chief are hidden there. This investigation is important because it continues one of the biggest unresolved mysteries from the previous season. Diarra never fully accepted the official explanations surrounding Velvet's death and the kidnapping case. Even though the chief managed to make those investigations disappear, she knows there are still unanswered questions. With help from Aya and T, Diarra finally gains access to the locked room inside Voda's house. Instead of finding random family belongings, she discovers Deontay's old room, complete with the missing tape Voda previously claimed had disappeared and another copy of the damaged photograph first seen in Velvet's home. This photograph changes everything. Unlike the earlier version, no face has been burned away, allowing Diarra to recognize Walter Harley. That discovery immediately convinces her that Walter is actually the mysterious chief she has been searching for. When Voda catches Diarra inside the room, another painful family secret comes to light. She admits she had an affair with Walter years earlier and that Deontay was conceived during that relationship. This confession completely changes how viewers understand the family dynamic. What once appeared to be ordinary family history is actually built upon deception that has remained hidden for years. Even so, Voda refuses to believe Walter could be the dangerous man Diarra suspects. She asks for time before confronting the truth herself. Diarra reluctantly agrees, but events quickly spiral in an unexpected direction. The family suddenly believes Chris is about to attack everyone with a gun. The situation appears terrifying until it is revealed that Chris is simply recreating a scene from the film Juice. More importantly, he staged the distraction because he realized Diarra was secretly investigating something inside the house. That moment becomes one of the episode's sweetest surprises. For much of the season, Diarra believes Chris struggles to understand her obsession with solving mysteries. Instead, his actions prove he knows exactly who she is and chooses to support her anyway. Ironically, despite finally feeling understood, Diarra immediately hides her biggest discovery from him. Rather than telling Chris about Walter, she confronts Walter alone. This meeting reveals just how dangerous Walter truly is. Instead of denying anything, Walter immediately realizes Diarra knows too much. He threatens her indirectly by making it clear that her friends could become targets if she continues digging into his past. Burning the reward check in front of her becomes another form of intimidation. Money means nothing compared to the message he wants to send. Stop investigating or people you care about will suffer. Faced with that threat, Diarra chooses to lie to Chris. She tells him the chief never really existed and was simply a frightening story invented by Velvet. Although the lie protects Chris in the short term, it also creates emotional distance between them that continues growing throughout episode 2. The ending of the premiere introduces another mystery entirely. Uncle Ron is shown being tortured by unknown people demanding information about his missing armoire. He desperately begs for more time, explaining that he has already hired someone to recover it. That brief scene tells viewers one important thing. The missing furniture is valuable for reasons nobody has explained yet. Episode 2 shifts attention toward both the investigation and Diarra's personal life. Chris and Diarra begin attending online therapy together, hoping to strengthen their relationship after everything they have endured. On the surface, they appear committed to making things work, but it quickly becomes obvious that deeper problems remain unresolved. Chris continues struggling with trauma from his kidnapping, while Diarra quietly begins questioning her own future. One sleepless night, she unexpectedly reconnects with Royce, her former boyfriend. Their conversation seems casual until Royce raises the subject of children. Learning that Diarra still does not have children, he unexpectedly suggests they have a child together while simply co-parenting. The suggestion shocks Diarra, but it also forces her to confront something she has apparently avoided discussing with Chris. That question quietly becomes one of the emotional threads running throughout the episode. Meanwhile, the investigation into Ron's missing armoire begins. Ron offers Chris and Diarra free rent in exchange for finding the furniture. At first, this appears to be little more than an unusual neighborhood favor, but every clue they uncover suggests something much larger is happening. Booker's belongings eventually lead them to an antique dealer named Paul. Although Paul refuses to cooperate, Diarra once again relies on her instincts and sneaks into his office while Chris distracts him. There she uncovers the identity of Paul's mysterious client. Soon afterward, Booker himself appears and warns them to stop searching for either him or the armoire. That warning only increases their suspicion. People are clearly willing to threaten and fight over what appears to be an ordinary piece of furniture. At the same time, T follows his own investigation and receives valuable information linking Booker's belongings to Tommy's gun, while Aya continues balancing her business problems with Walter's growing influence over her life. These parallel storylines reinforce one of the show's greatest strengths. Every seemingly unrelated mystery eventually connects. The investigation eventually leads the group to Lisa. She claims Booker may appear during her cousin's celebration, but she is clearly hiding something. While Chris and Diarra argue about their communication problems, T searches the upstairs rooms, leaving Diarra free to investigate the basement. There she discovers both Lisa's cousin Brandy and the missing armoire. Before she can escape, someone attacks her. Chris arrives just in time to rescue her, finally giving him the opportunity to prove that despite his emotional struggles, he is still capable of protecting the woman he loves. They recover the furniture and return home believing the case is finally over. Instead, the biggest revelation is still waiting. While celebrating the relationship milestones they missed because of Chris's kidnapping, they accidentally damage the armoire during an intimate moment. That accident exposes the truth. The recovered furniture is only a replica. The genuine armoire is scheduled to be sold at a secret private auction later that same night. This twist completely changes the investigation because it proves someone deliberately created a fake to hide the real object. Whatever makes the original valuable has remained hidden inside it all along. Before leaving for the auction, Diarra finally asks Chris the question that has been haunting her throughout the episode. Does he want children? His answer completely devastates her. Chris admits he never wants children. For Diarra, this is not simply a disagreement about future plans. It represents two completely incompatible visions of life. Only hours earlier, spending time caring for the neighbor's child had convinced her she was finally ready to become a mother. Now she realizes the person she loves cannot give her the future she wants. She quietly understands that their relationship may already be over. Despite the emotional pain, they continue investigating and arrive at the abandoned location hosting the private auction. Instead of wealthy collectors or criminal buyers, they discover something far more horrifying. The building is filled with dead bodies. Among the victims is Paul, the antique dealer who had refused to answer their questions. Even worse, Chris immediately recognizes the gun he lost during the earlier fight. Its presence at the murder scene creates an incredibly dangerous situation. From the perspective of investigators, the weapon directly connects Chris to multiple murders. Without stopping to investigate further, Chris and Diarra flee the scene. The ending leaves viewers with several major questions heading into the next episode. Who murdered everyone attending the auction? Why was the real armoire important enough for multiple people to kill over it? Who placed Chris's missing gun among the bodies? And, perhaps most importantly, can Chris and Diarra continue working together after realizing they want completely different futures? Episodes 1 and 2 succeed because they balance emotional storytelling with an increasingly complex mystery. Walter's hidden connection to Diarra's investigation, the dangerous search for the real armoire, the growing conspiracy surrounding the auction, and Chris and Diarra's heartbreaking disagreement about starting a family all collide during the closing moments. By ending with a room full of bodies and evidence that could easily frame Chris for murder, the series makes it clear that solving the mystery has suddenly become far more urgent than simply recovering a stolen piece of furniture.